more on Wall Street as markets rise in Asia and Europe. Dow futures are up 1,000 points. More on that in a moment. But first, a celebration in Gator Country. Gainesville, Florida, where they partied late into the night after Florida won the men's college basketball title, beating Houston 65-63.
Our defense won us a game tonight. We got 9 straight stops at one point in the middle of the second half. We held them scoreless the last 2:20.
Florida coach Todd Golden. Houston had the ball at the end with a chance to tie or win, but didn't get a shot off. Now back to the stock market, where that potential rebound comes after the Dow plunged more than 4,000 points the past 3 trading days over concern about new U.S. tariffs. But President Trump is not backing down.
We have an opportunity to change the fabric of our country. We have an opportunity to reset the table on trade.
Now, he's threatening China with an additional 50% tariff if they don't cancel big reciprocal tariffs on American exports. China calls that bullying, vowing to fight till the end. But dozens of other countries are negotiating. And what Israel's prime minister said at the White House is music to the president's ears.
We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly.
Benjamin Netanyahu and the president also discussed Gaza, where Israel keeps battling Hamas.
The war will stop at some point that won't be in the too distant future. Right now we have a problem with hostages. We're trying to get the hostages out.
Now, the president also made news saying the U.S. will hold direct talks with Iran Saturday, trying to rein in the Iranian nuclear program feared to be building weapons. The Supreme Court has lifted a judge's order that blocked more controversial deportations.
In a 5-4 decision, the High Court ruled to permit the use of the 1798 Alien Enemies Act to deport alleged Venezuelan gang members. So President Trump responding to this, saying, quote, the Supreme Court has upheld the rule of law in our nation.
Fox's Brooke Simeon. The court did order those being deported must be allowed to have challenged hearings. America's listening to Fox News.
Harbor Freight knows time is money, so for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025, while supplies last. Limitations apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
And we mentioned deportations. There's another court challenge as a legal U.S. resident is fighting the Trump administration trying to remove him. Mahmoud Khalil is accused of violating his visa's condition in his anti-Israel protest last year at Columbia University, with the U.S. alleging that he was sympathetic to Hamas, a terrorist organization. In New York, a family that was detained in an immigration raid last month and sent to Texas is returning.
Authorities haven't given a reason for the release of the woman and her 3 children. Their names have not been made public. They were detained late last month while investigators were making an arrest at a farm in upstate New York as part of an unrelated criminal case. The family's detention getting an outpouring of support, including a demonstration over the weekend that drew hundreds of people to the small town of Sackett's Harbor, where border czar Tom Homan has a home and where the children go to school. Homan told a local TV station last week the family was in the country illegally, though advocates say they're in the process of seeking legal status in immigration court. In New York, Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
Tension at the Korean border today. The South's military fired warning shots as North Korean soldiers crossed over the border. Those troops did not return fire. Instead, they just returned to North Korea. As South Korea deals with political turmoil.
South Korea's snap presidential election is set for June 3rd. Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment was confirmed by the country's constitutional court last week, starting the clock on a 60-day deadline. Yoon's conservative People's Power Party is seen by many as facing a battle to hold on to power. The Liberal Democratic Party looking to seize on the damage done by Yoon's botched attempt to impose martial law. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
In Kazakhstan,
3, 2,
a launch. A Russian Soyuz taking 2 American astronauts and a cosmonaut to the International Space Station for an 8-month stay. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news
Prosecutors asking a judge to drop a bribery charge against former Chicago alderman and federal mole Danny Solis, the ex-city council member helping the feds by wearing a wire, which led to the convictions of two powerful lawmakers, one-time alderman Edward Burke and former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. A patch of land at Prairie Fruits Farm and Creamery buzzing with activity before long, the farm announcing they're developing a pollinator patch and a beehive on their property. Several kinds of flower species planted in the coming months to make sure bees and butterflies have plenty of food and a place to call home. Traffic stop in Hoopeston over the weekend led to a drug arrest. Saturday, officers stopping a car for traffic complaint near 9th Avenue and West Honeywell Avenue. Let's say 30-year-old Gage Faust, a passenger in the car, and was in possession of methamphetamine. He was arrested, then taken to the Hoopeston Police Department for further investigation. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Yeah, it's starting to get light earlier and earlier, and it's so lovely, Soye, to be driving in when I can see the sunrise.
The sunrise is beautiful.
Really nice, and just...
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, just amazing how God made the earth and tilting and all that stuff, because if the sun was 1 degree either way, we're dead. So it's amazing to me.
I know it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. How
perfection there.
It's unreal. So
Perfection.
it tilts it this way, that way, and I'm at 26, which is kind of tilted still away from the sun. It's a little nippy, but not bad. Frost on the pumpkin, as they say. But not bad at all. Well, good morning. It is April 8th. It's Tuesday all day long. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. This is our meteorologist. He is Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by Carl.
Stay in control of your health and medical care. Should an accident or medical crisis arise, you can also get your advanced care planning done ahead of time through Carl. Learn more at carl.org.
All right, sir, on this Tuesday, I know things are going to be getting better as the week progresses. What you say?
Yeah, especially in temperatures around here. We'll stay kind of almost March-like around here, mid-March-like on readings for the day-to-day. Had readings pretty much close to the 20-degree mark into the Wabash Valley this morning, but currently 25 over at Willard and Savoy, 26 at Rantoul, same at Danville, 25 at Bloomington Normal, some upper teens over the northwestern end of the state with the at least frost and freeze warnings all the way down past the Ohio into parts of Kentucky and sections of the lower Mississippi Valley where the cleanup, the recovery, and the drain-off continues on after the 10 to 15-inch rains there, and certainly replanting whenever they get around to it. Not much access to the back 40 here on southward, but those tile lines are running much better. 4-inch soil temperatures, by the way, if you keep track of that with some of the summer crop stuff in mind, only in the 40s, averaging out during the afternoon hours. So a ways to go before we get some significant warmth into the soils. And today doesn't help, at least with afternoon temperatures at only 46, but the sun will be out. Higher sun angle sure helps as well with a northwest to north breeze on the light side. So cool today, but the sun helps. Overnight lows down to 33 tonight. Not so cold there. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. The south wind will help, but there may be a stray shower or two in spots mid to late morning and more likely in the afternoon. Late day thunderstorm chance at 52. We'll bottom out at 41 tomorrow night and still a lingering iffy chance for a couple of drops of rain both early and late in the day on Thursday. Partly sunny up near 60 as winds turn northerly and gusty. Any of this rain, by the way, middle part of the week, quarter inch or less, so it should not generally net affect any drying that's going on across the area, which will accelerate here Friday at 54, even more so for the weekend. Warm up to 60 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday, up into the lower 70s on Monday. Iffy shower chance there will cool slightly into the 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solga.
All right, here we are. It's Tuesday morning. Good to have you listening. That's the kind of defense that I'd like.
Yeah.
It's just a different game when you get into shoving players to midcourt, and national championship goes to Florida over Houston 65-63.
Yep.
It was just a bunch of physical, and they let them play, but that's how it looks. It just, that shutdown, you got to get the people to want to do it, though, but the shutdown defense is just, Brad Underwood has said many times, points win games, defense wins championships, and you saw that last night. I mean, their teams couldn't score on each other.
Now, you said the Gators won, right?
Gators won.
Yeah.
Florida beat Houston.
Okay.
65-63. Houston had a little lead, and it was just, you look at the play-by-play of the thing, and nobody scored. It was just shut down defense, and the total points to hold those teams to those low totals. I like that, and I like Houston's older. They were so much older. I don't know how old Florida was, but based on the Terrence Shannon experience, And my younger experience this year, I get it. We were unbelievable, lights out, shoot it out. If it's over, we beat you by 40, 30, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh gosh, we can't do anything really. That's 18. That's an 18-year-old. I don't care how good you are. And Casper Shaka Jonas is going to go. I looked at the most recent draft thing.
Okay.
Was 5 through 12. So he's a rich man. Will Riley, for whatever reason, what I saw on the draft boards, he's dropped. He's like 20 to 28, which is still a millionaire, but kid should be going to prom. Maybe one more year in college would be good. But we got a guy last night from somewhere in Europe, and he's like 6'9", 240 or what? He's thick. So maybe that's my banger. I need bangers. I need guys to get in there and give me a rebound and push people around. And I really want to guard. I want to guard hard. I want to be like St. John's and Houston in Florida, guard hard. Anyway, that's basketball, and it's over. And now we'll be thinking spring football here at Illinois. We're going to be in the top 20 at a football team. And that's not too far from top 12.
I know it.
And isn't it a remarkable thing early in the season when we go to Indiana for our first Big Ten game? Normally it's, you bring sandwiches and the kids and picnics and you have it out in the bleachers because nobody's there. And how Indiana's selling out, and they're ranked 2. So it's like unbelievable. The last time Illinois and Indiana were both ranked to start a season was like never. Okay, so this is the shifting gear here in Champaign-Urbana. As we move toward hopefully very exciting Brett Bielema fourth season, fifth season. I lose track of how many years.
I thought it was more than that.
No, I think it's fourth.
Okay.
I can't remember. Okay, so we got lots to cover here this morning. Glad you're here. A Supreme Court came in and said, yeah, you can go ahead and deport people. So that whole bring that really bad man back on my plane, no, the Supreme Court made it clear you can follow that very, very old U.S. law about deporting. Mm-hmm. So there's that. There's going to be some due process ordered that,
right?
With that, but
maybe some court stuff.
Well, which means what? Appeals, lawyers, feed them 6 months, a year. I mean, what does that mean? Can we not expedite a little bit on some of these folks?
Brett Bielema, by the way, been in that position since 2021.
Which would make his fifth year? 21, 22, 23,
or
24, fourth year.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Okay.
All right. So we'll shift gears, but so the tariffs have caused China to say something like we'll fight to the end, whatever that means, because we're using another 50% on top of. They said it's blackmail. We're saying, dude, you've been ripping us off for years, and nobody wanted.
We're just trying to get a fair deal.
Well, in their mind, how dare you not give me more money and have such a trade imbalance, whatever it is.
And how dare us look away for so long to make it come to this point.
Well, it's not politically expedient. Look what the markets have done. By the way, they're going to bounce back today, at least temporarily. But if you're getting a raw deal and people come to your house every year and they collect $100,000 from you and you're saying, why am I doing this? Because that's the way we've always done it. Now give me the money. You're going, whoa, let's talk. Nobody had the political courage to do this before. And to make it fair should not be a controversial issue. To say, if you're tariffing me, if you're charging me 20% more, I'm charging you 20%. No. You go zero, I go zero. How about that? And 70 countries want to talk.
Yes.
So we're mounting up. China could be a problem because they don't want to lose face, and they cave to Trump. So we got to deal with that. But then we'll see where China is if, it's going to change dramatically if you have to pay double. It's 104% now, counting the fentanyl kick. 104% is the tax now on China stuff. That's a lot more than they're paying right now.
Wow.
So we will see how all this shakes out. So some of that coming up. Let's jump to our morning sports, 7:15 with Diane Ducey has some sports headlines.
As you mentioned, Florida over Houston is the lead everywhere. NCAA national champion is the Gators, and 65-63 was the final. We had Pittsburgh over St. Louis 8-4 yesterday, and here's your Redbird recap.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals fell behind 4-0 as their catcher Joey Bart hit a home run in the first inning, and the Pirates collected 3 runs in the second against Matthew Liberatore, but then he was able to put up zeros until an inherited run scored in the 7th inning. The Pirates scored 4 in the 7th and put the Cardinals away 8-4.
Libby went deep in the game and gave the Cardinals a chance. Unfortunately, the story again last night was the Cardinals' bullpen inability to keep the game close. The Cardinals battled back towards the end. A home run by Mason Wynn got it closer, but the problem already existed because of that big 4-run inning late against the Cardinals' pen.
Joel Pozo in his Cardinal debut hit his second big league home run.
Yeah, he looked good behind the plate, too, throughout a runner stealing.
As for the Cardinals' Roycroft, he had a good finish to the Sunday night game in Boston, but last night, completely the opposite.
His command was not there. The Cardinals will need him going forward.
The Cardinals have Sonny Gray against Paul Skeens tonight on the air at 4:45.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Cubs shut out the Texas Rangers 7-0. So
and hold on to first place.
Yeah. So you'll hear the action as that series continues. Just after 5, we'll have the pregame on US 105.9. We also have Chicago White Sox at Cleveland with a 3:10 start this afternoon. We also have Illinois baseball in Normal against ISU to face the Redbirds at 5. So taking note of our Illini sports. Looks like the St. Louis Blues 12-game winning streak has come to an end. On ice yesterday, Winnipeg on top 3-1. Blackhawks are at Pittsburgh. We also have Bulls in Cleveland, Washington in Indiana to face the Pacers. And Shea Bolin has entered the transfer portal. She had a back injury that prevented her from playing women's basketball last season.
Shauna Green.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the world for the basketball teams is, we got people coming back. We had a lot of new guys coming in. We can't find the guy that just
from Montenegro, a forward called David Mirkovic.
David Mirkovic,
yes,
6'8" or 9",
6'9", 250. Forward,
250.
Okay,
yeah. Should be able to get good positioning.
Exactly.
Miranda Johnson was 6'10", 250. So there you go, same kind of thick maybe.
19 on this one.
So we need some bangers, and we probably need that Dame Sarr. He's athletic, but he doesn't really shoot. He goes to the rim, and he's the guard, a 6'4", 6'6", 6'5". So anyways, Brother Johnny's also jumped into the show this morning on ESPN 93.5. It's coming up on Weather Time. And then we'll be right back with more Weather at the Time now, brought to you by Urbana Park District.
Great opportunities if you'd like to tap into the Urbana Park District and a neat summer job. You can learn more at urbanaparks.org.
And we're going to check our markets. Fox Business coming up. Markets are going to bounce up, as at least the early time here at 8:30 when the bells ring and everything opens on markets. It's going to be good early, at least. Here's Greg.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Hard freeze underway. Frost scraping off the windshield before you head down the driveway. And an afternoon temperature today on the cool side of average for an April 8th. Heading towards about 46. Sun-filled skies, light northwest to north breezes. Overnight lows tonight with a fair sky. Now it's cold 33. Clouds quickly increase across the air tomorrow. A couple of showers mid to late morning. Better in the afternoon on the coverage chances. Highs up to about 52 with a thunderstorm chance later in the day as well. Lingering shower threat early tomorrow night. Low down to 41, and a stray shower or two in spots Thursday early and late, partly sunny up near 60. Winds will turn north and northeast. Any of these rain amounts through the middle part of the week will stay on the light side. 54, a partly cloudy, dry Friday. Warm up for the weekend with lower 60s Saturday, 67 on Sunday, topping 70 on Monday with a shower chance there. Back into slightly cooler weather in the 60s for Tuesday of next week as the drier pattern in the short term builds across the area. For Steve J. Broadcasting, I'm Delicious, Greg Solgay.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are in the green after yesterday's wild swings on Wall Street and mixed close. Apple shares are recovering ground, up more than 1%. The Wall Street Journal says Apple plans to import more iPhones for the U.S. from India to offset the high cost of China tariffs. Apple shares have fallen 19% in the previous 3 trading sessions. Shares of CVS Health, United Health, and Humana are all higher after the federal government revealed plans to increase payments to providers of Medicare Advantage plans next year. CVS Health shares up 8%, United Health Group shares have added 5%, and Humana up 11%. Daimler Truck is reporting weaker sales for the recent quarter, and the company says the decline was in North America. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Well, Denise and her husband recently made the decision to sell their home, and they reached out to talk to the Nate Evans Group for help. Denise says that the Nate Evans Group not only sold their home quickly, the same day that it was listed, the experts at Nate Evans also helped Denise and her husband find their forever home as well.
I know, and it's great if you can think about this new chapter. Maybe you'd like to talk with Nate and his partners about the top builders in the region, dealing with them, some of them exclusively, has knowledge of new developments going up before other buyers are aware of them, new construction homes before they hit the market and various price points. All you need to do to get the process started is hit up nateevansgroup.com, get home value as you enter your address, and watch what happens. Use the experience. He's friendly. He's got a great team, a friend you can trust. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. Get that immediate cash offer on your home if that's what you're looking for. Help sell your home for the most money possible. Just do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
The 2 Men in a Junk Truck crew loves junk, especially when it turns into treasure. That's why the Second Chance Garage Sale is happening April 12th, rescuing fantastic items from the landfill and giving them a lease on new life, maybe with you. Come find furniture, household goodies, and unique treasures ready for their second act. 2 Men in a Junk Truck is emptying their truck with some great items. It's the first ever Second Chance Garage Sale. Give something pre-loved a new home. Score amazing deals on furniture, household goodies, maybe even something wonderfully weird. Get to 2 Men in a Junk Truck office at 701 West Bradley Avenue early Saturday, April 12th with the garage sale from 8 a.m. to noon. Plus, proceeds go to Courage Connection as you give back to the community with your purchases. Don't miss the fun, the finds, and the feel-good shopping. Get all the details at 2menandajuncktruck.com.
Yeah, I mean, you like garage sales.
I know
These guys pick up stuff from people's houses and probably go, what's wrong with this couch?
Right.
So they're putting it out and making money for Courage Connection.
Right, and like a burn pit or something. That's something I'm eyeing. I mean, stuff that people don't want. They're making room for new things.
Right.
You're coming into the spring. Patio furniture, stuff like that might have a second chance. And they're giving it to Courage Connection. So make sure you're out there on the 12th starting at 8 at 701 West Bradley.
They'll be the sailors, Johnny. Garage sailors are there at 7 or 6. Yes. And they're serious people.
It's amazing what you accumulate
without even knowing it.
And one man's trash is another's treasure.
Absolutely.
Right.
And they're clearing out a lot of people who are entering a new chapter, maybe, and this stuff might be perfectly good.
Oh, one of the bigger businesses going is self-storage.
There you go, boy.
You just don't want to throw it away. You don't have any place to put it.
Never get out
No,
of
you
it.
never get out of self-storage. All right, good morning. It's 7:25. Who ran the government? How long did we talk about that? When Joe Biden was addled and obviously not capable, everybody inside knew that.
But I don't think so. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Joe Biden was given that position with the understanding, here's what we're going to do. And he wasn't that addled at that time. He was never fit to be the president, in my opinion. But there were always a group running the presidency. There were always this agenda pushing
works.
Joe had no real, like Trump. Here's what we're going to do. No, I've got this.
No,
Joe was just had an auto pen signing executive orders. And this was going on from day one. Yes, he did decline, but this whole idea of, I can't believe you knew it was covered up. They didn't cover it up. We watched it.
You don't think any time he made a decision early on?
I won't say he didn't ever make a decision. I'm just saying as far as running the agenda and the direction we're going, that was what the progressive movement wanted, was a way to put their agenda in, and getting a guy like Joe,
a puppet,
would because he agreed to it.
Yeah.
He said, I'll do it. I want to be president.
Yeah. All right, here's Newt Gingrich thinking more should come out of all this.
Well, look, either there has to be a joint House-Senate committee or there has to be a special commission. I mean, I have to say, in all the years I've studied both as a history teacher and as elected official, the idea that these people knew, and it's pretty clear now that a lot of them knew that he was gone. And it raises the question, who was the president of the United States during this period? Or who were, because it may have been a group. It's an astonishing moment. And I think it requires a very in-depth look, day by day, at the decisions that were made. Were they really made by the president? Or were they made by his staff? And second, how many Democrats owe the country a deep apology because they knew they'd been with him, they knew it was impossible, and they lied about it? And I can't remember any event in American history that involves, including Woodrow Wilson's stroke and Edith Wilson, his wife, running the country. Nothing on this scale of constant deception, constant lying, and the fact that they propped him up. And it raises the genuine, legitimate question, who was the president, and do any of the things that they did in his name actually count if he didn't know who he was?
And you're not so sure any of it.
No, what I'm saying, I agree with Newt in who was in charge. How could they lie about, no, this is the president doing it? Yeah. I just don't think Joe was as completely melted down as they're saying, and what happened, it was national security. That gives them an out. They went into this saying, we're going to take over this country, we're going to tell the president what to do, he'll do what we tell him.
The progressives,
whoever was doing it, and we do need to know who that was, because it's basically a silent coup. And yes, Joe got so bad they couldn't even say that he was making the decisions, so they got caught. But I want to know exactly, like Newt's saying, who was running this, who did this,
because you had a change out,
and it started with how they got him in office. Remember, Steve? I mean, it's a sordid, sad story.
Is this will we ever know? No, I mean, I wonder if we'll ever have the information. Will there be people that talk?
We'll know. We'll have the information.
You had different chief of staffs. You had Susan Rice come and go. I mean, you had a lot of different people in there.
As with everything, we'll have all the information. Half of it won't be true, so we have to figure out what really happened. But it will all come out, and then you have to think. So, we'll have a general. We already know that Joe really wasn't a president as we're used to. And making this decision. I can't believe what Nixon did. That guy, he said that, Joe wasn't doing any of that. He was just signing up, and maybe he was signing the things, and then he couldn't even do that. But the whole plan was we're going to put our agenda in. We need a guy that will do it, or that we can do it, whether he is for it or not, or just at least agrees with us. And it wasn't the same thing, and that's what's got people going. And it became so obvious at the end.
We should know, though. History should know.
Yes, absolutely. Well, so it can't happen again. The reason you want to know about history is so you don't repeat bad history. That's the whole idea.
And then for Karine Jean-Pierre to say how sharp he is, I'm with him every day.
Karine Jean-Pierre, when he went the wrong way off the stage, said he didn't do that. So what do you expect? It's amazing.
No, you didn't see that. He knew exactly.
How about the border is secure?
Yeah, border is
shut
secure.
down,
Yeah,
and we're going to keep it that way.
All right, break for the news. Come back, 217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line. At 7:30, we check with Fox News.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says he'll add another 50% tariff on Chinese imports if new tariffs on American products there are not lifted today.
Officials are warning today the U.S. threat to escalate tariffs on China is a mistake on top of a mistake, and once again exposes the blackmailing nature of the U.S. China will never accept this. If the U.S. insists on its own way, China will fight to the end.
Fox's Peter Ducey. High-level talks to limit Iran's nuclear program are scheduled Saturday.
A deal is preferable to the alternative, President Trump says.
I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger.
Earlier this year, President Trump sent a letter to Iran's supreme leader asking for negotiations. At the time, Iran's president said that proposal was rejected.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Oman is hosting the talks on Saturday. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Traffic stop in Hoopeston over the weekend led to a drug arrest. Saturday, Hoopeston police stopping a car for a traffic complaint near 9th Avenue and West Honeywell. They say 30-year-old Gage Faust, a passenger in the car, in possession of methamphetamine. He was arrested and taken to Hoopeston Police Headquarters. Officers with the University of Illinois Springfield responded to reports of shots fired near campus housing Sunday morning near West Campus housing. When they arrived, the suspect already fled, but police able to locate shell casings. No damage reported. Good news, there were no injuries. The Champaign Police and Crime Stoppers looking for tips from the public that could help solve a case of credit card fraud. Police say a woman used stolen credit cards to buy gas for 2 cars. It happened at 3 a.m. at the Thorntons on Mattis Avenue. Surveillance footage showed that suspect, who was described as a heavyset black woman. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Busey's been around over 155 years. Busey, member FDIC. Our weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. They offer cost-efficient solutions for your busy office. Might be able to save you money on that color printing. Call Watts Copy Systems for a free evaluation. Just call them up at 217-352-0428.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Vicinity, cold one underway. Frost scraping off the windshield of the vehicle before you head on out. Sun-filled skies, temperatures better than 10, shy of average at 46 with a general northwest to north breeze. That'll help fare tonight 33. Tomorrow increasing clouds and a couple of weak systems via the plains will generate a couple of shower outbreaks tomorrow morning, more so tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening with a high up to about 52. Could even be a thunderstorm in spots to our south of us, a bit of a southeast to south wind. Down to 41 for tomorrow night and still a lingering shower chance for the day on Thursday morning and afternoon. Partly sunny and highs up near 60 as winds swing to the north and turn gusty. About a quarter inch out of all this here for the middle part of the week. We can manage that with soil moisture in mind and field work. Partly cloudy 54 on Friday, up near 60 on Saturday and 67 on Sunday. Fair amount of sunshine and milder weather pattern should top us above 70 with a shower chance here on Monday. Back to cooler weather Tuesday, but high temperatures in the 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, it is Tuesday morning. This is August. It's the April. I knew it was an A word. April 8th, ladies and gentlemen. April 8th. Happy to welcome to the studio Ivan Dozier. He was chief of line. I worked for 5 years. Were you a grad student? How'd you do that?
Yeah, 3 years undergrad, 2 years of grad school.
So didn't you have to try out? It's not a term. You had to keep earning it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've got to do a knowledge test about Native American culture and history, and then of course there's the dance as well, which was pretty physically demanding.
Oh, I know. No, it's an amazing thing, and I think I've concluded that wokeism was born on this campus, and this was step one.
It really was.
Yeah. I mean, this is, who was it? Charlene
Charlene Teeters.
Teeters and her 10 friends, right?
Yeah, she came in specifically for the goal of removing Chief Illiniwek. Chose the University of Illinois because it had one of the most honorable depictions of Native American culture, and thought, if we can take this one down, we can take them all down. And she was behind the Washington Redskins out in D.C. as well, and the Cleveland Indians, and she continues that work that she started right here in Champaign.
Well, why don't you get down there, Charlene? Why don't you get down to Florida State? Yeah.
They're not going to get rid of that. But
wait
I'll
a
tell you,
minute, that's racist. Why wouldn't they?
It isn't, though. The thing is that what it is doing is erasing history of the Native Americans, and we were. You go to the game, your kid's going to say, well, where were the Indians? And you talk about Native Americans in our history. They don't want us talking about that. This goes into politics, too. But I think this woman just wants her 15 minutes of fame, and what's her real driver? What is...
Well, I mean, this is how she's been able to make her mark.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of young Native people. They want to make their mark on their communities. And it's way easier to take something away than it is to create something or to give something.
Well, I presume they're outside of Kansas City and the Atlanta Braves. Oh, come on, man. My chief didn't. I didn't do that.
But when you want to honor a historic history and of something that's valuable to the American history, then why do you take that? They're erasing all vestiges of the American Indian. It doesn't make sense. That's what's dishonorable.
It doesn't make sense to me either, frankly. And when I look at my own culture and heritage, I brought this in as a little prop here in the studio when I'm drinking my coffee out of the Cherokee Braves mug.
Yeah.
That's the reservation school there in North Carolina.
So what is your background, Ivan?
So I'm Cherokee. And like I said,
you're not offended, deeply offended by the chief?
No, I'm not. In fact, as we've said today, I think it's a great way to remind people about Native American culture and history, a reminder that we are still here, and a great way to prompt that discussion and get people thinking about the impact of Native people here in Illinois.
Well, and it was such a great presentation. I mean, there was nothing dishonorable. It may have not have been exactly like the Illini Indians, who we've been have a hard time finding any of them, but it's a great way to present that part of our history. And I had nothing but that. You guys got the best mascot in the whole country. There was nobody that said, that's disgusting.
Well, and the best because it wasn't a mascot, and that's one of the
exactly.
things that
it wasn't even
on.
A mascot because we weren't even on the sidelines.
Exactly.
It was
Symbol.
a ceremony.
Symbol.
Really, it was a ceremony that the average fan said mascot because that's what they have, a tiger. But no, and that's what maybe they can disparage the context by saying, well, we're better than a rocket. And so, but it wasn't like that. It was a very, very, I think, cherished tradition, and people looked forward to, in many cases, sadly, to the Indian much more than the game we were in, because you were the star of many of our
Well, you stayed through halftime. You didn't leave halftime till the chief was done.
Right.
That was
part
it.
of the chief and the marching Illini. No matter how the game was going, you could count on quality from the chief performance and from the marching Illini, and that's what kept you in the stands, and that's what kept you excited, even if the team wasn't there.
All right, it's Ivan Dozier. He's the chief Illini with 5 years, 2010, 2015, and he's with Honor the Chief Society. What is that?
So Honor the Chief Society is a local nonprofit organization that we've started, obviously going towards the chief and supporting that honorable tradition, trying to battle some of that misinformation that surrounds the chief that the critics have brought to the chief's door, and when they try to say it's bad because of this or it's racist because of that, and trying to dispel some of those myths that they kind of just make up. But then also working out in the local community. We've even, I touched on some reservation schools that call themselves the Braves or the Indians. We've actually worked with some reservation schools that have people come in and try to get the Indian people themselves to stop using names like the Braves. And
That's crazy.
It's actually happening. And so we contact them and try to offer them the same kind of support, some of the same types of talking points that we've used here in our community to defend the chief. And we've actually got our annual meeting coming up on Saturday, April 26th. So you can find us at honorthechief.org, find us online, Honor the Chief Societies on Facebook, and we'd love to let some people know about some of those other initiatives that we've got going on in the community.
Got something going on in August, a little ways away, but what are you planning?
Or sorry, April. It's right on. Those A months are just
okay.
I get it confused too. When I smell this air, I think of two things.
So this is just because all right. So we have something in just a couple of weeks.
Just a couple
all
weeks.
All right. So
yes.
this is something people can take advantage of, and what are they going to take advantage of at Papa Del's April 26th?
Yes, that's right. Come on out. We've got a speaker lineup. We've got some updates about some of the stuff we have going on. We've got the Illinois government is trying to pass a House bill to ban Native names and images across the entire state. That's high schools, so Tuscola Warriors, Sullivan Redskins, they would all be eliminated by this House bill. We're trying to battle that. We've got some updates, some of these schools that we've worked with, and we do turn it into a fundraiser. We've got some exclusive auction items. There's a lot of athletes out there, especially those during the Chief era who are very pro-Chief. I can't tell you who they are right now, but you can come out to the meeting and you can find out, and we've got some of their autographs to prove it.
Well, I got to tell you that's just, to me, the most insidious way to dishonor anybody, which is to deny they existed. That you never hear. We don't want to name. Don't say talk about them. They're insulted. Why would they be insulted? This is their heritage. Oh no! Don't talk about them. And it's a complete opposite, as we've seen in a lot of cases. It's opposite of what they're saying they're doing. They're doing the opposite.
And while I know what the university is, politically, I think at some point the leaders, I don't know when the tipping point was, they just wanted to quit talking about it.
Exactly, but I don't think that's helpful. You're an institution of higher learning. We got to open up a dialogue here. And, I think that's really part of the problem and why we want to hold these meetings and invite people in to hear some of the details, because it's really easy just to get that soundbite to say, oh, it's racist. And then you hear people say, oh, well, Chief fans are racist. That's it. And they want to move on. But real answers, truthful answers are complex, and they might be uncomfortable, but we got to hear some of those talking points and hear that truth.
Ivan, if you voted on campus right now, what would the vote be from the students that attend the University of Illinois on their symbol? What would they say?
Well, I think you'd have a bit of surveyor's bias. Of the students who actually come out and vote, I think it'd be about split 50-50.
Really? You think it's 50 against the Chief?
At this point, yeah.
Well, not the games when they yell Chief.
Well, that's the students who go to the games aren't necessarily the students filling out the surveys.
I see. Okay.
Or want to be the ones labeled in class. When I was there, I had professors telling me in class that I was a racist, threatening to lower my grade, giving people extra credit.
You can't threaten to lower my grade because I'm a racist. That has nothing to do with my grade.
Well, you didn't take classes in liberal arts then.
But so the only way, and this is to be purely honest, only way I see ever the Chief of Illinois coming back is the powers of the governor. Governor can put the trustees, governor can get it done, then you'd get sanctioned by the NCAA, then you sue them because you want to host.
Well, the NCAA is a fading organization.
Right. Well, because they put that limit.
There's going to be a big, huge conference, and the NCAA might go by. But I got to tell you that I think it's unjust that you've taken away this representation of the Native American that the Fighting Illini had, and people like Ivan were able to present. And it was a very moving thing, and something that you do want to talk about. Okay, what's the history there? What's going on? As opposed to nothing. As in, no, don't say the name, you racist. No, you're the racist. You're trying to wipe out an entire segment of human history.
And I'll just say, the opportunities are there. The Peoria of Oklahoma, who the NCAA task is like, this is the tribe that, has the finals. They just had a change in leadership. Their chief just resigned, and they're looking for new leadership. Illinois just had the chancellor resign. And so both of those organizations could reach out to one another and say, hey, during this change of leadership, let's talk about how we can move forward together and have a partnership instead of burying this thing. The opportunities are there. We'd love to talk about it more. So if you have the chance to come to our Honor the Chief Society meeting, we'd love to go into some of those opportunities and how the local community can help.
Here, ask Alex, 217 texter, ask Alex if he'll be there when Florida State joins the Big Ten and their chief shows up on our 50-yard line.
Alex, I think it's Ivan.
Either one.
Ask Alex.
Ivan's my first name. Alex is my middle name.
Oh, no kidding.
So either
Okay.
one.
Then
I would happily be there.
What would the
Chief
response
Osceola.
be from Florida? Would Florida State be accepted in the Big Ten because they have a racist symbol or mascot?
There you go. That's something I think that the Big Ten is going to have to ask itself whether it wants to behold itself to the same.
How do I get it? How do I get a
as the
Seminole deal? How do I
NCAA?
get a charity? How do I get? I mean, we have Native Americans that are all for the chief.
Tribal permission.
So okay, but what did the Seminoles do? Why do we ignore that? That's hypocritical.
Well, and so the Seminoles and the Utah Utes, I think, are both great organizations to look at. Is they are right there in the same state as the tribe that they're portraying, and they found a way to make it work.
And we have no fighting, no Illini left, right?
We have the Peoria of Oklahoma, which is 1/16 of the Illini Confederation.
That's it.
That's all you need, babe.
That's all we need.
We got the Fighting Illini.
Let's go.
There you go.
So it would be that easy. You could go down to the Peoria of Oklahoma and you could say, hey, what if we had an Illinois golf tournament, Spirit of the Peoria golf tournament, brought it down to your reservation golf course, split the proceeds. Hey, what if we gave you a cut of that Davis symbol logo, that nice round Chief logo, all merchandise sold, we give you some of that. And if the Peoria said yes, the Chief's back tomorrow.
And the Seminoles do that. I think they are involved in the whole program, and it's a good sports program. And
what that tells me is it can be done, and that's the question I have for the university is why have you never tried to do that?
Because we're blue and they're red. Utah's red, Florida's red.
I think, though, that people are willing to start to think a little bit outside of those lines because it's it's worked for a long, long time.
When you evict the progressives from the Democratic Party, wake me up.
Well, I think Alex...
or from the university.
Ivan Alex summed it up when you mentioned it was 10 people that started this whole thing. And the negatives go so much further than the positives. And it's so much easier to just say, I'm not going to get involved. I got to go to work.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, really, what do I care? Just let them have their way, and they'll leave us alone.
And people are afraid. You know, there's a lot of people afraid to voice their opinion, and they don't like being shouted at.
Well, maybe that's what the university is afraid of.
Yeah, I think absolutely. No one wants to be called a racist, and they're afraid, and they don't even stop and think about whether there's any justification behind that name. They just hear the ist, and they go, ooh, that sounded scary.
Is that the squelching of the existence of Native Americans is quite racist. So the question really is, who is the racist here?
Yeah. Absolutely. And, you know, you never want to be on the side of those trying to erase history, I found.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Since we're the foundation for so many things that have occurred in the world, am I right in my thesis that maybe wokeism really, really opened up and got going here with Ban the Chief?
I would make that case.
I mean, it was really unusual to have.
There's a lot of things that got going here, good and bad.
Yeah, right.
Illinois has been quite a leader.
Yeah.
The university as well as the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
And right now, I think we're going through a period of less than what we could be better than we are. The best is yet to come.
Yep.
Keep on fighting, Ivan. I like it.
I will. I certainly think when you see this hysteria of the native names and images, the people tearing the statues down, to me, it all started with the Chief. I don't know if that's just because I was here or if it really did. But
it's a virus that has grown and grown and grown. And people can find Honor the Chief on Facebook. Is that right?
Yep. Facebook. We got a website, honorthechief.org.
Yep. Okay.
There's one other element though that's involved in this anti-American Indian, which is a lot of the people who get behind it don't want sports to be focused on. They don't like the level of money going to sports, and they're just trying to wreck the sports programs. And so it's a good negative approach to do that. And it might be a secondary deal, but you have to fight that as well.
Money's always a factor.
Yeah.
Hey, could you do the dance, or are you out of shape?
He can do it. I can tell you by looking at it.
Oh, I'm not going to do it with these headphones attached.
But I mean, could you physically do it still?
Maybe everything but the split jump.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's a lot of moving around. The
absolutely.
split jump, you had to stretch a
and
lot.
I'd have to stretch a lot more, and I'd be sore for a lot longer.
Ivan Dozier. All right, again, how can people connect with you and honor the chief?
That's right. Find us on Facebook. Take a look at our website, honorthechief.org, and make sure to RSVP to our event. That's Saturday, April 26th at Papa Del's. You can walk right in, pay your dues there.
$35 is all. 35.
That's it.
$10 for students.
That's it, and we'll have just as good a discussion as we had today.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you, some of my friends and I've done the Chiefs stand. Sure, we had a couple beers, and I don't think we did it quite like you.
Come on out. Come on out to our event. Have a couple more, and maybe I can give you a few pointers direct.
Ivan Dozier, thanks for coming out.
All right, thank you.
Great to see you. Ivan Dozier, Honor the Chief Society, ESPN 93.5. Again, April 26th, Papa Del's. You can be part of that. Find Honor the Chief Society on Facebook. 10 till, weather next. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Hard freeze underway. Frost scraping off the windshield before you head on the driveway. And an afternoon temperature today on the cool side of average for an April 8th. Heading towards about 46. Sun-filled skies, light northwest to north breezes. Overnight lows tonight with a fair sky. Now it's cold 33. Clouds quickly increase across the air tomorrow. A couple of showers mid to late morning. Better in the afternoon on the coverage chances. Highs up to about 52 with a thunderstorm chance later in the day as well. Lingering shower threat early tomorrow night. Low down to 41, and a stray shower or two in spots Thursday early and late, partly sunny up near 60. Winds will turn north and northeast. Any of these rain amounts through the middle part of the week will stay on the light side. 54, a partly cloudy, dry Friday. Warm up for the weekend with lower 60s Saturday, 67 on Sunday, topping 70 on Monday with a shower chance there. Back into slightly cooler weather in the 60s for Tuesday of next week as the drier pattern in the short term builds across the area. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Delicious, Greg Solgay.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do installation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance, and they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863 or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
Yeah, always a pleasure to talk to Dr. Todd Likens, our veterinarian, pet pro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. Do all of your dogs in the herd, Todd, have microchips?
Oh, yeah. We microchip at day 2 just because, or even earlier, just so we can track weights easier. You know, a lot of people will put little ribbons around them, but, you know, those come off and they, you know, it's a choking hazard. So we just go ahead and get the microchip done early. That's actually, this year I put an emphasis on we're reviewing every animal that comes in the clinic's microchip and getting it in our system. We had some instances where microchip numbers were mismatched and we're just adding everybody to our system, because sometimes people bring us if the pet's lost, and not everybody registers their chip like they should. So at least there'll be one point of contact on any animal I've seen that's in the system.
That's essentially, you can scan it if a lost dog and find the owner kind of thing. And we've talked about this before. If we did like a GPS, the unit would be too big to put on a dog.
Exactly. I was like, that would be ideal. It's like, hey, where's my dog? And you can get that, but the GPS is too big yet, and that's why they have them in collars, and that's about the best they can do at this point.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so microchipping your animal, does it hurt to put it in?
No, it's basically a shot.
Okay,
is all it is. So most of them don't even react. They have it's just like a shot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So good to do and good to have.
And we've also found some of the microchips don't seem to work too. People have thought they had microchips and we couldn't find them. So it's just a good review to make sure everything's working.
All right. Good idea. And you put it in the hip?
It goes between the shoulder blades.
Okay.
It's under the skin and it's free floating. So the scan pattern goes all the way from the ears all the way down the leg. So because they can move all over the place.
I'm not a big government guy, but wouldn't that be with the rabies shot be a requirement until we no lost dogs?
Personally, I would prefer that we registered our rabies certificates by the microchip rather than a dog tag.
Okay, well that'd even be better. Why don't we do that? Why don't you run for something to get that done, Todd?
They had a thing in Chicago where I was a student up there that they were talking about getting all dogs microchipped because they were having all these dog bites, and they were trying to figure out, they catch the dog, but they don't know who the owner is.
I got you.
Deny it.
I think that's a good thing to do, and I hope people do that, so that if your dog is lost and that knowledge of microchipping, take it to a vet. Do all vets know how to do this?
Yep, all vets know how to do it, but again, we're dependent on the national database, and some of these microchips are sold in stores, and they're not even registered. Nothing gets registered. You just buy a microchip, but it does no good because it's not registered anywhere.
I see. Okay. All right, good tip of this day. Anything new on the streets with all the doggies and cats you see every day?
Oh, just the usual spring injuries, sore feet and sore legs from all the excitement getting out and running again.
Yeah,
so.
That's right. They're out of shape, right?
Yeah, they are out of shape. They need to go to the doggy gym.
How many are your doggies out there?
Hey, well, like I say, my dogs are dying to be black labs this time of year. So.
Okay, Gina, time to wash the 20 dogs. Let's go. Come on.
There you go.
Holy moly, that's crazy.
That's why I have groomers.
It's Dr. Todd Likens. How can people find you, my friend?
Hey, give us the text. We prefer text. 217-355-5051.
Thank you, Todd. Always a pleasure. Thank you on the microchipping as well. All right, ESPN 93.5 got the news straight ahead. Appreciate you listening. Basketball's over.
Yep, Florida on top.
It was a 65-63, a very physical game, a very hard-fought game. It's kind of what it looks like at that level where guys go to the basket and just beat each other up for a while, and then just hard rebounds. I mean, you can't call that. I mean, if you started calling all that, there'd be like 34 fouls called like against us in the Elite Eight back with Arizona, but who remembers? Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's over for now. Florida. They haven't won one in 2 decades. I'm going, why haven't won one?
Yeah, since 2007.
But we haven't won one. I know. I'm waiting I'm talking about the current, form of everything. I think, didn't we claim a national championship back in the 50s? But anyway, it's nothing like what it is today, boy. It's hard to win a basketball game in the NCAA tournament, that's for sure. And Illinois will put together another team next year. We'll recognize some of the names, but certainly not all of them. We got another guy last night who's 6'9",
yes,
250.
David Merkovich from Montenegro.
Okay, and that's in where again? Where's Montenegro?
I have to look that one up, TVJ.
All right, the news will be next. Stand by. 217-359-2255. You want to join us on the Fisher National Bank text line. Anything you've heard today, getting quite a few texts about Honor the Chief Society. Keep them coming. We'll get to some next hour. Stand by. The news coming up next, and also the markets will open. We're all interested in what's going on there. Attention all truck drivers looking for a new opportunity with great pay and amazing benefits. Gale Frericks Trucking has got you covered. Join their team, receive a $4,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $4,000 just for coming on board. Plus, enjoy a $1,200 gross weekly pay guarantee. Drive their state-of-the-art Freightliner Cascadia trucks equipped with a revolutionary system designed to reduce weight and downtime. Get home every weekend and some nights during the week with paid vacations and holidays. They offer company-sponsored health insurance and all the benefits you deserve. Regional drivers get first priority. Don't wait. Apply in person at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive, Urbana, or call Tim at 765-505-1295. That's 765-505-1295. Start your journey today with Gail Frericks Trucking.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
A rebound looms on Wall Street. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Stock futures are surging, up 1,000 for the Dow, though that's only a quarter of the losses that have piled up the past 3 trading days on worries new U.S. tariffs on most imports could hurt the economy as other countries reciprocate. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox many of them want to make deals negotiating on those tariffs.
Maybe almost 70 countries now who have approached us. So it's going to be a busy April, May, maybe into June.
But China is not negotiating, as the president warns an even bigger tariff looms this week if they don't cancel reciprocal tariffs on American exports. China calls that bullying. Fox's Peter Ducey reads more of the Chinese statement from the White House.
China will never accept this. If the U.S. insists on its own way, China will fight to the end. And this is why they're so mad. So there's the possible tariff announced yesterday, 50%. On top of the reciprocal tariff announced last week, 34%. Then the tariff on fentanyl trafficking announced in February. It all adds up to 104% of tariffs.
Now, the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer faces a lot of questions about the Trump tariff policy at a Senate hearing next hour, especially from critical Democrats. Also in Congress,
the No Rogue Rulings Act is set to get a vote today in the House. It would limit the ability of district court judges to issue nationwide injunctions in response to executive actions by President Trump. Democrats accuse Republicans of trying to intimidate judges and claim they're interfering with the separation of powers.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The Supreme Court's lifted a judge's ruling that blocked more deportation flights under the Alien Enemies Act. Attorney General Pam Bondi just told Fox,
Americans are safer, and domestic terrorists, foreign terrorists, you better look out because we're coming after you. I'd start self-deporting if I were you, because we're going to find you.
The court did also rule that those being deported must be allowed to legally challenge removal. It is a good morning in Gainesville after Florida won the men's college basketball championship, beating Houston 65-63. America's listening to Fox News.
Harbor Freight knows time is money, so for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
One of the countries that's negotiating trade deals with the U.S. after new Trump tariffs is Israel.
We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that, sitting next to President Trump, who said the U.S. keeps trying to free more hostages and work out a ceasefire in Gaza, where Israel has been attacking Hamas again with deadly airstrikes. Now, the president also announced the U.S. will hold rare direct talks with Iran, trying to harness its nuclear program, feared to be building weapons.
I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger. And I hate to say it. great danger because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Now to the war in Ukraine. Its president says they found 6 Chinese soldiers fighting for Russia, taking 2 of them prisoner. This is in addition to thousands of North Korean troops helping Russia as Ukrainian forces continue a counter-invasion moving into a second Russian region.
War must return to where it came from, insists President Volodymyr Zelensky. He's confirmed Ukrainian forces have been fighting in the Belgorod region of Russia. That's on top of last summer's incursion into the Kursk area, from where his troops have been largely forced back. President Zelensky says the main goal is to protect Ukraine's Sumy and Kharkiv border regions and ease the pressure on other parts of the front line. Ukrainian officials say their incursions have forced Moscow to redeploy troops. Russia currently controls about a fifth of Ukraine. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary, has gone to Utah, praising the state for being the first in the nation to ban fluoride in drinking water.
The EPA is also reviewing new studies about the potential health risks of fluoride, including concerns about bone health. While fluoride has long been hailed for strengthening teeth and preventing cavities, critics like Kennedy say its health risks could outweigh the benefits.
That's Fox's Ted Linder. Kennedy also had just gone to Texas to deal with a deadly measles outbreak. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Traffic stop in Hoopeston over the weekend led to a drug arrest. Saturday, officers stopping a car for traffic complaint near 9th Avenue and West Honeywell Avenue. Let's say 30-year-old Gage Faust, a passenger in the car, and was in possession of methamphetamine. He was arrested, then taken to the Hoopeston Police Department for further investigation. Prosecutors asking a judge to drop a bribery charge against former Chicago alderman and federal mole Danny Solis, the ex-city council member helping the feds by wearing a wire, which led to the convictions of 2 powerful lawmakers, one-time alderman Edward Burke and former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. A patch of land at Prairie Fruits Farm and Creamery buzzing with activity before long. The farm announcing they're developing a pollinator patch and a beehive on their property. Several kinds of flower species planted in the coming months to make sure bees and butterflies have plenty of food and a place to call home. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Charlie Kirk's in town. Charlie Kirk is going to be at the University of Illinois tonight. I like Charlie Kirk. He's all over X, and he goes one-on-one sommelier with the students, and they're mostly they're standing around. Yeah, because they're for him, but then there's occasional, and I got a clip here I want to play of Charlie Kirk going mano-a-mano with a woman who's very intelligent, but just off. Anyway, I'll play that here coming up. All right, It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier. What's it like in New Orleans? Brother Johnny's been up here a while, but...
it was a little rainy, I know, Greg.
Yeah. But better, quieting down, not completely, but all that severe stuff. But you got all this southern Corn Belt and lower Mississippi Valley water draining into Mississippi. So your levels are going to be coming on up. And I'm sure you guys are in excess mode with soil moisture and probably some replanting issues as well, not too far north or northwest of you from the rains of the past couple of weeks down there.
Well, the river will be running, but I like the sunshine, Greg. Keep it up. It's cold, but man, when it's sunny, it's so nice to have the sun.
We love it. Love it.
Much higher sun angle this time of the year there, gentlemen.
Weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. State Farm and Kurt Lenschow are there, and so is our meteorologist, Greg Solier, sir. What say you?
Yeah, it is that higher sun angle, more direct rays that helps us out, and even on these cold mornings, and some frost and freeze all the way down past the Ohio into parts of the Arklatex, Tennessee Valley, and adjacent areas. So that's a cold start to cleanup, recovery, and drainage that's going on down there. So it's a drier, but not completely dry weather pattern around here, nor are we on board with any ongoing dryness and drought. Other forecasters are thinking, tough stuff here, but we think it's going to be the western Corn Belt and plains that around here may be ultimately too much of a good thing still coming our way as we try to get back in the fields or get going in the fields coming off the rains. The tile lines running full tilt, and soil temperatures, though, still on the cold side, averaging still in the 40s even by day. 30 at Willard and Savoy and Danville right now. Later on this afternoon, up around 46. That's about 12 shy of normal. Northwest to north breezes will be light. Sun abounds. 33 tonight. Increasing clouds tomorrow. Maybe a stray mid to late morning shower, and a couple of showers are more likely likely here in Champaign County tomorrow afternoon. If you're going up towards the Kankakee and north, don't be surprised if you see snowflakes again there to start off tomorrow. The high here at 52, down to 41 tomorrow night, up near 60, and a lingering shower chance Thursday. This Wednesday, Thursday stuff, quarter inch or less in the gauge, so no big deal there. But we're dry Friday, 54. We're dry for the weekend, a warm up, 60 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday. Iffy shower chance on Monday, highs there in the lower 70s. First GVJ Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Soldier.
Yeah, okay, ESPN. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. 809. So Charlie Kirk is a Turning Point founder. What is Turning Point, Johnny?
Well, it's a conservative movement into the colleges and the younger people to give the perspective of a little more, we've been saying, common sense, more grounded, less hysterical, more. I call it moderate now.
Yeah.
But and I've always said, I'm a Jimmy Carter man, 1976 Jimmy Carter, and now I'm a right-wing insurgent.
Yeah, right.
And I haven't budged.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Charlie Kirk, I think he's going to ISU this afternoon.
That's right,
and
right around lunchtime.
Okay,
he'll come over here. I can't imagine what that looks like because I know he has security. And, how racist and bigoted he is. He probably has all kinds of protesters.
Well, I think, that's finally wearing out.
I hope so.
And so I think that we're ready to at least gain access to people who say, well, let's see what you're saying.
And that's what he does. He talks to people.
Yeah.
And it's he really generally tries to get a conversation going. But here's an example of what he does on these college campuses.
Do you think we should ban fracking?
Yes, I do.
Does your candidate?
She's kind of iffy on that one.
Do you think she's telling the truth when she says she's for it?
She's working on winning an election.
Winning an election, so just tell the voters what they want. Right. Kamala Harris is a corporate shill who actually does not believe in freedom of speech. She censors her opponents.
Neither does Donald Trump. The internet, I'm sorry, is not a utility. The only way for freedom of speech to be impeded is if the government does something. But they said that those are private corporations. Do you believe that private corporations should be able to make decisions about what they do?
It's a lot more nuanced than that.
Is it?
Yeah, so for example, should United Airlines be able to kick us off because we're Republicans now?
Well, what do you think?
Because there's only 3 carriers, and so it's more nuanced than that. For example, could AT&T should be able to drop your calls if you say you're supporting Kamala, if it's owned by a Republican? Answer the question.
This smug Kamala supporter thought she could corner Charlie Kirk.
Pretty good. And so I don't know, the Follinger is full. They got all the tickets. You had to apply for a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have people that obviously are against Charlie Kirk get in, and that makes it entertaining. All like-minded, same place. Now you got people that are going to stand up there and talk
But I think that you need to be civilized and not yell and scream and help.
Right.
And
be
having
so
a disagreement is fine.
Well, I've heard most of the ones I've seen, and mostly on X, it's very conversational, and it's kind of back and forth. And sometimes the other side goes, oh, I never thought of that.
But I want to know how somebody can say, you can say all kinds of things about Trump, but he's not for free speech. He doesn't. But everybody can say anything, and there's video in everything they're doing. And that's open, that's transparent. He's had all the people who enjoy free speech attack him with everything they have and trying to shut down anyone who would defend him. I haven't seen it both ways in that. It's been from the progressive movement that wants that kind of control, and to do that you do have to censor. They're correct. They have to censor disagreement, because what they're saying won't hold if someone says, wait a minute, a guy can't have a baby. I'm always saying that. But they're still telling us that, Steve. So as long as they are, you got to point out what they're saying isn't true. And if they can shut me up, then you might start believing it.
Here's Bill Maher, who did go to the White House and have lunch with the president. Bill Maher, liberal, friends with Kid Rock.
Said some pretty rough things about the president.
Yeah, he has. Went to the White House, and Kid Rock said it was unbelievable. Breaking bread with people that you think there's no way you can.
Well, that's what Trump's always doing. I got to talk to him.
No, I know.
I got to talk to Jing Jing Jing, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You can't talk to him.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to talk to Putin. He's talking to Putin.
Here's Bill Maher.
Yes, you can move too far left. And when you do, you wind up pushing the people in the middle to the right. At its worst, Canada is what American voters think happens when there's no one putting a check on extreme wokeness. They say in politics, liberals are the gas pedal and conservatives are the brakes. And I'm generally with the gas pedal, but not if we're driving off a cliff. Sweden opened its borders to over 1.5 million immigrants since 2010, and now 20% of its citizens are foreign-born, and its education system is tanking, and it has Europe's highest rate of gangland killings. To which liberals say blaming immigrants for the rising crime rate is racist. Yeah, but is it true? Of course it's true. It's not a coincidence the quality of life went down after the Somali gangs started a drug turf war using hand grenades. Calling it racist doesn't solve the problem.
It's interesting because here he is. He's giving a concession, and this is what a good liberal does. What a true liberal would do is analyze each issue honestly, and that actually is what he's doing.
That's what he's doing these days. He's definitely analyzing and definitely saying this is dumb. It doesn't make sense. Why are we doing this? And not very many liberals will do that.
Well, I think a lot more are.
I hope so.
And because he's right. You can look, I just said I'm more of a middle of the roader, but I'm a right-wing insurgent.
Right.
He just said you're pushing the moderates to the right.
Right.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're also pushing some of the pretty left of center liberals to the right.
Yeah.
And so like Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy.
Why are they not a great example of how far left it went? I mean, you're talking about two were at least used to be liberal.
We would call them frighteningly liberal, and now we're like, yes, they're one of us.
Moderate, No, it is. It's all based on where we've been and where.
When you take it to an extreme, like he said, to where you can see this is going to be a disaster for all of us. Then you say time out, and but they still right now have done nothing in terms of who's pulling the levers of government from the Democratic side. It's still progressive.
Yep. Check your sports headline. Basketball has ended for the 2024-25 season.
And our champion is the Florida Gators, 65-63 over the Houston Cougars. We also have some news from Montenegro. David Merkovic. I think that sounds like it's gonna be easier to say.
Would it be Merkovic or Merkovich? I wonder if it's
okay.
I don't know.
Could be. And 19 years old. He's a forward, 250 pounds, 6'9", and joining the Illinois basketball team as things start to take shape. Are you thinking we could do a starting five contest?
Maybe.
Here on ESPN
we'll do it earlier.
Okay.
But name the starting five. I got Kylan Boswell. I got Isevich, maybe another Isevich, and then I probably have Ty Rodgers, don't I?
Well, Steve, I'm not going to tell you my list.
Johnny wants the money.
Montenegro is near Croatia.
Okay.
And apparently the Iseviches and this new kid played on the same basketball team over there.
Oh.
So we have a little connection going on.
Well, talk about the family in the Fighting Illini land. And then we're learning, of course, that Tomislav's twin brother is joining. We just call him Z because that makes it easy. So, let's bring it.
It's just north of Greece and borders Serbia. Montenegro.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, good. He's 6'9", 250. I need some rebounds, kiddo.
And I'm hearing a running back is coming to Illinois football by the name of Jamare Barnett. So we'll see how that fades.
Talk about not having a clue.
I know.
You tell me you got some. Football, how do you ever know what they turn into?
Well, they're young, and especially in football, well, it's all of it.
Oh, man,
you don't know.
Right.
You don't know.
Basketball is not wearing a helmet, and there are very few of them, so maybe it's more, but there's a lot of football players.
But still, on all of these Illini sports, I just feel like there's this underlying current of this constant flow called the transfer portal. In women's basketball, Shea Bolin, who had a back injury, has entered the transfer portal, as announced with Shauna Green's team.
There's 1,500 men that are transferring. 1,500. There's not enough teams or players.
Crazy.
You might lose your spot.
Mm-hmm.
You might not get to go to Villanova like you wanted or something.
Well, did you know, too, Steve, you've got 2 years in, like, junior college don't count. You can get another 3 or 4 years in the D1. So you can play 6 years. So it's becoming more and more competitive.
And Ben Hummerkaus, I think, is coming back, but not much has been said about that.
I haven't seen anything in writing, but maybe I'm not searching the right place.
You can search Ben Hummerkaus. I thought the NAIA, they appealed saying that really wasn't D1, and it wasn't, is what I'm understanding.
Okay.
So there you have there's your old guy, 23, 24. And
Which
outstanding.
we need some experience.
Yeah, and a guy that with high character like Ben Humberkaus. So I think that's all good. So anyway, it's coming together, but every year I'm going to go through the same thing.
Well, that's all fun and games, Steve, in the world of sports.
That's how we have it now. In the NBA action, Bulls are at Cleveland. Washington is in Indianapolis to face the Pacers, both games at 6 o'clock. Winnipeg took down the St. Louis Blues after their 12-game winning streak. 3-1 was the final yesterday. Blackhawks at Pittsburgh and Minnesota's at Milwaukee in NBA action tonight.
Johnny, you'd said you and Shad Khan are worth $13.4 billion and some change. Would you like to give to NIL?
I'll talk to my partner.
So
there you go.
No, he's a great guy, and he knows a lot about sports. And I think those Jacksonville Jaguars, that's my AFC team.
Here's Greg. We'll be right back.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Hard freeze underway. Frost scraping off the windshield before you head on the driveway. And an afternoon temperature today on the cool side of average for an April 8th. Heading towards about 46. Sun-filled skies, light northwest to north breezes. Overnight lows tonight with a fair sky now. It's cold 33. Clouds quickly increase across the air tomorrow. A couple of showers mid to late morning. Better in the afternoon on the coverage chances. Highs up to about 52 with a thunderstorm chance later in the day as well. Lingering shower threat early tomorrow night. Low down to 41. And a stray shower or two in spots Thursday early and late. Partly sunny up near 60. Winds will turn north and northeast. Any of these rain amounts through the middle part of the week will stay on the light side. 54, partly cloudy, dry Friday. Warm up for the weekend with lower 60s Saturday, 67 on Sunday, topping 70 on Monday with a shower chance there. Back into slightly cooler weather in the 60s for Tuesday of next week as the drier pattern in the short term builds across the area. For Steve J. Broadcasting, I'm Delicious, Greg Solgay.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Buyers have returned to the markets after 3 days of tariff-related turmoil and sell-offs. Shares of CVS Health, United Health Group, and Humana are all sharply higher. The Trump administration will substantially increase payments for Medicare insurers next year, an increase of more than 5%, compared with an increase of under 3% proposed by the Biden administration. Walgreens Boots Alliance made more money from its pharmacy business in the recent quarter. Its quarter was upbeat, even though it wasn't selling as much beauty, seasonal, and general merchandise. The parent company of the Walgreens drugstore chain is about to become private. Harley-Davidson is looking for a new CEO. Its current chief executive is retiring. Harley's dealing with a sales slump and likely will be impacted by tariffs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, thanks for coming into our studio and discussing the experience about buying your first home. What are the first steps you should take, and how can your team help at Nate Evans Group?
Yeah, I mean, buying your first home can be super scary. Maybe not even scary is the right word. It's just a lot of unknown. So I think the important item for somebody to find is clarity on what that looks like. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I'm probably calling the Nate Evans Group, and I'm going to ask to speak with one of the local experts in there that's specific to the area they're trying to search. And we're going to sit down with them. At least we can keep it super easy. We usually do it over the phone first, and then we can do an in-person meeting at a house that they choose or they like. And we'll talk them through next steps, pre-approvals, refining criteria, and then next thing you know, we're finding houses off market for them that don't exist, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of buyers right now.
Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Yeah, I enjoyed having Ivan Dozier out. He was chief of Linowick at Illinois from 2010 to 2015. Every year you have to defend it. I mean, there are people trying to take that opportunity to be the symbol of the University of Illinois.
No kidding.
It was
great sports symbol for America, actually. And I had nothing but raves about him from all through the South.
But
wherever anyone saw the Chiefs.
How do you feel though about the tomahawk chop at Atlanta Braves, Kansas City Chiefs? And then, of course, the Seminoles just too hypocritical for me to take it seriously. If that's okay, I'm okay too. I'm way better. I'm way better than a flaming spear and a bareback Indian coming on the field.
But they're giving some scholarship money to the generations of the Native Americans.
They're Native Americans that would partner with Illinois in a heartbeat.
But the Illinois Wick tribe has passed away.
1/16 Peoria Indians, 1/16 Illini.
Right. I think there's a path, but you got to talk more to people, and it starts to make sense when you talk a little bit. Speaking of sports, are the San Francisco Giants still undefeated?
Nope, they're 8-2.
They lost 2 games. Who to?
The Reds.
Oh, that's right. How'd they lose that? There's a kid that caught a great ball last night and won that game. Who was? I can't remember. Red.
Jacob Hurley.
Oh, that's right.
I got a
number
text,
26.
Got a text at 5 a.m. from John Decker saying, I just saw Jacob on Sports Center.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, well,
because it was a
game
catch.
Yeah. It was a game ending out. Very tough rip right at him, which if he doesn't make it, it's probably another loss for the Reds, but he caught it diving forward.
Yes.
When you see one of those I played a little left field myself. And when you see one of those line drives coming at you, you're not sure if you should take it on the bounce.
I know.
Or is it going over your head?
Right.
And you got to decide in about 0.1 seconds what you're going to think it's going to do.
Jeez.
And he just made it, boom, he's on it, and he had to run and dive to catch it before it hit the ground, which he
Jacob
did.
has some good judgment. That catch that he made at Wrigley was incredible over there in the corner.
He made that relay throw to throw out Madrigal.
Oh, yeah. Well, he also just pegged one to the plate once.
Yeah, no, he has a highlight reel, actually.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played that much, and he still has a pretty good highlight reel.
Look, it was fun, and they needed that win. Holy cow. 4-7. I think we're tied with the Cards.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And the Cubs are in first place in that Central Division, and it looks like Craig Counsell might have it going. The Cubs are hurt on US 105.9 today with Texas. Cardinals are in Pittsburgh. Boy, that's going to be interesting. Paul Skeens. You heard of him?
That's the LSU boy.
He's good, and he starts tonight for Pittsburgh. Yeah, and Sonny Gray, Cardinal ace, I guess.
Yep.
But boy, you're not going to score many runs on Paul Skeens. I heard him in an interview. I said, "What a cocky guy!" But they said, "Well, now, Paul, when you get along in the league and people start, really looking at what you're doing, and they're going to adjust, how are you going to handle it?" He said, "Oh, well, good luck." He's 6'5" and throws BBs on the black part of the plate at 100 miles an hour.
He's just really, really good.
He's really, really good. And then he's dating the gymnast from LSU that has how many million people? Livy Dunn. On how many million follow her on social media? So it's kind of a power couple. Anyway, all right, the news next. Come right back and get your last segment of the day here. The drive this afternoon. Lonte, Derek Piper with Kyle Tosk. 217-359-2255. Congratulations to all our Stever winners yesterday. I was handing out $50 bills to go eat Long Branch Steakhouse steak.
Ooh, so good.
And we had a lot of happy people yesterday on the Stever. Another offer tomorrow, but if you're not sure what we do here, go to GoStever.com, learn all about it. GoStever.com is the program where I, Stevie J, hand you my money.
Love it.
All right, we'll be right back. ESPN 93.5. It's 8:28.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I've met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Stocks start the morning higher after days of losses since President Trump announced new worldwide import tariffs, higher for some countries with so-called reciprocal tariffs starting tomorrow. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox Business.
There are 50, 60, maybe almost 70 countries now who have approached us. So it's going to be a busy April, May, maybe into June.
China says it'll fight to the end as President Trump threatens even higher tariffs if their new tariffs on American products aren't lifted. The Supreme Court lifts a hold on deportations under the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox.
These are enemies of our state, of our country, and they should be deported.
The court says migrants must be allowed to challenge accusations in court. In Texas, where they're detained, not in D.C., where the lawsuit was filed. Some of those deported Venezuelan migrants deny accusations. They're gang members. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Prosecutors asking a judge to drop a bribery charge against former Chicago alderman and federal mole Danny Solis, the ex-city council member helping the feds by wearing a wire, which led to the convictions of two powerful lawmakers, one-time alderman Edward Burke and former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. A patch of land at Prairie Fruits Farm and Creamery buzzing with activity before long. The farm announcing they're developing a pollinator patch and a beehive on their property. Several kinds of flower species planted in the coming months to make sure bees and butterflies have plenty of food and a place to call home. Traffic stop in Hoopeston over the weekend led to a drug arrest. Saturday, officers stopping a car for traffic complaint near 9th Avenue and West Honeywell Avenue. Let's say 30-year-old Gage Faust, a passenger in the car, and was in possession of methamphetamine. He was arrested, then taken to the Hoopeston Police Department for further investigation. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Weather this morning brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Want to entertain outdoors this year? Well, click or visit today. Get a free estimate on a deck, patio, or pergola. Save 10% on your project. KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and vicinity, cold one underway. Frost scraping off the windshield of the vehicle before you head on out. Sun-filled skies, temperatures better than 10, shy of average at 46 with a gentle northwest and north breeze. That'll help fare tonight 33. Tomorrow increasing clouds and a couple of weak systems via the plains will generate a couple of shower outbreaks tomorrow morning, more so tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening with a high up to about 52. Could even be a thunderstorm in spots to our south of us. A bit of a southeast to south wind. Down to 41 for tomorrow night and still a lingering shower chance for the day on Thursday morning and afternoon. Partly sunny and highs up near 60 as winds swing to the north and turn gusty. About a quarter inch out of all this here for the middle part of the week. We can manage that with soil moisture in mind and field work. Partly cloudy 54 on Friday, up near 60 on Saturday and 67 on Sunday. Fair amount of sunshine and milder weather pattern should top us above 70 with a shower chance here on Monday. Back to cooler weather Tuesday, but high temperatures in the 60s. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
If you're looking to get the most from your money, a free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an exceptional annual percentage and really can increase your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, you can switch to Rewards Checking and Rewards Saver from Fisher National. See monthly requirements at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, disease, and insect control. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign. Way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
All right, ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Brother Johnny's been hanging out in Philo for a bit. Appreciate him being around. So Ed Martin, our Wednesday guest on Wednesdays, where he was working with Phyllis Schlafly Group and all his wonderful things, got the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. job, and he's about to be confirmed, or they're trying to get him through. Adam Schiff is actively working against Ed, so Ed is going to lay low from being on our show till he's confirmed. And I think he'll get that done. You have to get to 51.
Well, if he's not confirmed, we'll lose a great U.S. attorney, and it'll be our fault. So
yeah, probably.
But Schiff being against him, to me, is quite the badge of honor.
Yeah, right.
So I would take that, and that should convince some senators. Ooh, Adams against him. Let's go ahead and confirm.
I can't imagine they not getting 51 with a 53 Senate place. I mean, you can lose Murkowski and Collins and still get it, right? And of course, Mitch, he's out. Mitch, whatever, McConnell. Yeah. So even if he's out, then JD can break the tie.
Well, I mean,
what's up with Mitch McConnell? Why is he always voting against Trump?
He doesn't like him.
Okay.
That's how you get, I guess.
Well,
Mitch isn't what you call all there himself.
No, I was going to say, isn't he very Biden-like?
We talk about Joe a lot,
Well,
but
Mitch is done. He's leaving.
Well, he's just not done. Leaving and done are two different things, because I wish he was done.
Yeah, right.
When is that going to happen?
26, I think.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Well, the midterms and the people jumping in are jumping in. I mean, it's already crying out loud April, and we got to vote a year from November. And the battle for the House. You know what? If the Democrats somehow got control, it's nothing but impeachments for 2 years. Nothing.
Hopefully they won't.
Oh,
and it all depends on how we do here. The next couple of years, and some of these things that we're trying to change. I'm on the side of a little reform, a little bit more efficiency. Some of those things don't usually happen overnight.
No, I know. And so, I mean, bringing manufacturing back takes years.
But he has brought money back.
Yes.
Commitments for investment is just staggering. And so I think it's going to be noticeably better by the time we're voting.
Yeah. Well, one government contract got slashed because it was millions to promote pineapples. So, again, I'm not against pineapples. In fact, I like them very much, but millions?
It's a question of what do we want to do with our government money, and why would we send our money? What if you don't like pineapples? Why are you taking my money to promote pineapples?
Why would you promote pineapples anyway with government money?
I think we need to try to focus more on what really needs to be done, and we've talked about those for years, and it's just the overall protect the borders is actually the reason we have a federal government, so you can have a country, and that's the one thing we've had trouble with.
The borders the issue is kind of over. He closed it that quickly? In less than 100 days, the border's secure?
I remember the Kamala Harris-Donald Trump debate, and he said, well, go home tonight and shut the border.
Right.
And
didn't do it.
But the point I'm making is she actually could have, because Joe would have gone along with it. If she'd have said we need to do it, they just wouldn't. And Trump did. That's all.
Quickly, too. Okay, 217-359-2255 is our text line, the Fisher National Bank text line. You're always welcome to jump in.
And this one came in at 6:45 last night from Michael in Monticello about Ed Martin, and it's a clip of what CBS News was reporting, according to Scott McFarlane, about top Trump nominee. D.C.'s top prosecutor touts legal work for January 6 rioters in the Senate questionnaire. So if you want to explore that report, it's just a couple of minutes long.
Well, I think what they were trying to get him to kind of disparage him for defending the J6 people, which were all pardoned. So I don't think that's going to play well with the Republican side. That should be another plus for Ed.
But they don't have hearings. They just vote. They just vote on them.
And that actually is a negative for Ed, because you can kind of slide under the wire and say, well, no, we can get somebody else. And it's not going to be a high-profile, Pete Hegseth kind of thing.
Well, I hope anybody bails on him. That'd be a bad call, I think. So.
Well, this story was posted on April 3rd.
Okay. I'm glad whoever sent that.
Michael in Monticello.
Thank you, Michael. Mm-hmm. We're going to check your sports one more time. Basketball is finished for the year. Illinois gets another recruit. Strong European pull here for the Fighting Illini program.
I also want to remind people, Farmer City Raceway is the place to be. It's the Illini 100, April 11th and 12th, and we at Stevie J Broadcasting have a couple of passes if you want to walk around that dirt oval track. I know when Aiden and I were real close, hanging on the fence, we got hit with a dirt clod when the racing cars were zipping on by.
That sounds like fun.
It was a blast.
Sounds like better take your muffs if it's that loud.
I mean, he had his headphones on. World of Outlaws, Illini 100. If you want to text in Farmer to 217-359-2255, you could get a treat on us.
When looking for a bank, you deserve the best. Philo Exchange Bank is a Best of Bauer bank rated 5 stars in financial strength and stability for over 28 consecutive years. Banking with us means you're banking with one of the strongest banks in the nation. Visit any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands to experience the best firsthand.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. we never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding, we're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Well, tell me, Tim Onset, lawn mowing season soon, Dixie Chopper, dedicated diesel. It's off Route 45 as you're heading toward Rantoul. You turn left on Triumph Drive till you can't drive anymore, and you'll be right there. And you got some Dixie Choppers I could buy.
Oh, yeah. Andy's got his hands full with Dixie Choppers, and stop by, see Andy, get a great deal on a mower.
Fastest mower you can buy, so you don't have to spend 2 hours out there. You might spend 45 minutes, and plus, Andy can tune it up or fix it.
Sure he can. Yeah, we got a full shop ready to go. Whatever you need.
When it comes to early on here in the spring, it can be, weeds up to your mid-thigh or whatever. So sometimes you need a really tough kind of mower to get through all that in the brush.
Well, yeah, these are built solid. They'll get through that stuff, and all of the structural components have a great warranty. So if something does go wrong, we can definitely get it fixed. Get Andy at Dedicated Diesel, 217-328-0562, or Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
Sports headlines, Diane Ducey.
You don't want the Redbird recap?
I'm good.
Pittsburgh won 8-4 at Pittsburgh 545 here on ESPN 93.5. Sonny Gray on the bump, so that could be good for the Cardinals. We also had a shutout as the Cubs beat Texas 7-0. Jamison Talion on the mound for the Cubs, and you'll hear the action over on US 105.9. Illinois baseball in Normal. They'll take on the ISU Redbirds at 5 o'clock. Also trending in Illini Nation, transfer portal news for Shauna Green and Illinois women's basketball team. Shea Bolin has entered the transfer portal, had a back injury and didn't play last season. David Mirkovic is the latest from Montenegro and evidently around Croatia and in the same, maybe summer league or whatever with the Isovic brothers.
Same basketball team.
Okay, there you go.
So they have a connection with SBA something. The team
I'm honorary Croatian. In fact, in Belchase, the name's Kecha Turjanovic.
Is that what it is? Because your friend Tony.
Yeah, Civilic,
huge Croatian.
You know what Brad's getting when he gets some of these Europeans is that experience that the high schooler in America don't quite have.
Right.
They're playing a lot of pro-type leagues at 14, 15, 16.
Yep.
So you get that experience that you wouldn't think you have at 17 and 18.
Right.
And
Florida over Houston for the NCAA championship. Go Gators.
Yeah. All right. 8:46.
We're back. We have Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the back?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Oh, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say,
wow.
Big Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com.
Allow me to introduce you to a true friend of mine. And whenever I've had problems, he would listen and always stayed by my side and offered great advice, providing comfort, strength, forgiveness, and healing. His name? Jesus Christ. Come, you're invited to join us, Muhammad Christian Church, as we celebrate what a glorious day this Easter Sunday. And when you arrive, step right in. You will be greeted with smiles, hellos, and a friendly, glad you joined us today. Oh, and please visit our Welcome Center. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad. Visit us for our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m. Celebrate the resurrection of our Savior and allow our friend Jesus Christ to fill your heart with his love. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad. Our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and vicinity, cold one underway. Frost scraping off the windshield of the vehicle before you head on out. Sun-filled skies, temperatures better than 10, shy of average at 46 with a gentle northwest and north breeze. That'll help fare tonight 33. Tomorrow increasing clouds and a couple of weak systems via the plains will generate a couple of shower outbreaks tomorrow morning, more so tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening with a high up to about 52. Could even be a thunderstorm in spots to our south of us. A bit of a southeast to south wind. Down to 41 for tomorrow night and still a lingering shower chance for the day on Thursday morning and afternoon, partly sunny and highs up near 60 as winds swing to the north and turn gusty. About a quarter inch out of all this here for the middle part of the week. We can manage that with soil moisture in mind and field work. Partly cloudy, 54 on Friday, up near 60 on Saturday and 67 on Sunday. Fair amount of sunshine and milder weather pattern should top us above 70 with a shower chance here on Monday. Back to cooler weather Tuesday with high temperatures in the 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group's Diana Foltz, recent recipient of Champaign County's Realtor of the Year.
Diana, how do you know you've been successful?
I know that when we are invited to personal events in their lives, first birthday parties, weddings, gatherings, we know that we've been more than just their realtor. We know that we've made these relationships deep and that it goes beyond just the sale of the house. And it speaks a lot to what we want, which is to serve our clients and to, be more friends than just a realtor.
Why do you like what you do?
I really enjoy helping either a buyer or seller to get to the next chapter. And they're relying on Reggie and I to help them them achieve their next goal.
You're their realtor.
We're their realtor. It's Taylor Foltz team, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. You can find me on the internet at dianafoltz.com. Cell phone number is 217-840-4133. And my email is diana@dianafoltz.com.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home this spring? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing has got the sale for you. Now through the end of March, offering a free water heater with the purchase of a new HVAC system. Or 60 months, 0% interest on financing for a new HVAC system. It's the biggest sale of the year. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Get a free quote for your home today. It's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
All right, well, that'll do her for the day, Johnny. We appreciate you being in. People enjoy hearing your point of view.
That's right.
Well, I like it. I like being with you and Diane. Stephen, it's going to be a nice sunny day here.
Yep,
it's going to be a little cool, but it always feels a little warmer when that sun's shining.
You betcha. Okay, we'll try and do this tomorrow. It'll be Johnny, because no Ed Martin tomorrow. We know that.
Okay.
Be off for a little while.
Well, we can talk about Ed, and he's been doing some things, and so we go on, Steve, and we're now negotiating. With our trading partners, and the stock market is, what is it, Steve?
Up 1,100
or something.
1,100, yeah, good bounce back for the Dow.
Nice.
All right, thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
All
guys.
righty, thank you.
Enjoy the day.
I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Meet you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You've heard about the doggy bag, right? From Bulldog Disposal Muhammad, a 6 cubic yard canvas bag that can be used for easy cleanup instead of a big dumpster. The one-time use bag is now available, and you can save the delivery charge. Get the doggy bag at Do It Best Hardware in Champaign at 107 West Springfield. So fill up the bag, call Bulldog Disposal, have it disposed of, and you'll be organized. Go to bulldoggybag.com for all the details. That's bulldoggybag.com.
Why use Lands Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Lands has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Winter's finally over. Time to thaw out and enjoy the sunshine. But is your yard ready? 2 Minute Junk Truck can help you ditch the clutter and create the perfect outdoor oasis. From old patio furniture to forgotten fire pits, 2 Minute Junk Truck will haul it all away. Get ready for cookouts, parties, or just chilling with a good book. Make space for what matters most. Visit 2MinuteJunkTruck.com today. Use code RADIO25 to save $25 on your next service.
We're back. We have Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the background?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say, wow.
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
All right, Tim Onstad, tell me how you're doing at Dedicated Diesel and the Dixie Chopper. You have any late model deals here I can make?
Yeah, there are fall deals on everything. We've got 3 or 4 used machines in there that Andy's looking to get rid of. We still have some new models, very few, limited of those, but those are going to be at the lowest prices that you can get. If you give us a price and it's close to what our dealer invoice is, he'll go for it.
Okay.
We'll do that and get rid of it.
Good time to buy then.
It's a great time to buy. Best prices you can get, and if you need service, now's the time to bring them in to get them serviced and get ahead of the rush and get